I'm glad that this all came together. It started from a hair session. We did a slay session and then just through conversation. Check out the hair. Beautiful. We do full service hair care here, so if you're interested, you can book an appointment. But yeah, we started talking and I found out that Adri knows a lot about diet and how that, attributes to contributes to your overall health, but especially as it pertains to hair. So that's how we came together. We were like, we need to link and do a session just to educate people about what they can do to achieve their hair goals and overall health for their life. So what made you choose diet and nutrition?
That's a great question. So I did not start off doing nutrition. I actually started off with teaching and I studied sociology and foreign languages. So I was on a completely different path, but health and nutrition has always been a core part of my upbringing. And the why, I guess, would be partially because of my grandfather. He was a huge influence in my life. He helped raise me and he always talked to me about my health, especially nutrition. Eating well, taking care of your body, everything. So he was like, your body's your temple, and he really got me kind of interested in it. But then when I came back from living overseas, I realized how much differently they eat, and how much fresher things were, and how I wasn't even trying, and I was probably in the best shape of my life. I felt better. I was eating fresh foods all the time, and it was so normalized. Whereas here we eat so many processed foods. It's so much harder to get really good quality produce. And I was at the farmer's market. And it wasn't even really like how we do farmer's markets here, where you think sometimes they're a little bit more expensive. It's actually cheaper than the grocery store, way more accessible. So that kind of prompted me to look more into nutrition, and it really spoke to me. And I had to start all over. I went back to school, dove into my program, and now I'm here, fully registered dietitian. Been there for over 4 years.
That's awesome. Yeah. Welcome. Well, that's awesome. Just that the evolution, I guess, if you would say, of how you got into your career field, and that just takes me to the place where we've been kind of vibing outside of this, talking about how things are defined, and it kind of feels like things are like just meant to be, and you kind of fall into your purpose of where you're supposed to be. So that's just interesting how that developed and came along.
Oh, I 100% feel like this was completely divine because I pray. I know I'm gonna go there. I asked God, and I was like, "What do you want me to do?" Because I got back from probably living in the best conditions, the most easy, relaxed work environment, and I was exhausted, overwhelmed. I felt empty. I felt like I needed something else. It didn't speak to my soul, and I prayed and prayed and prayed, and it was revealed to me in the weirdest way. It was like nutrition, and I just started crying because I knew I had to go back to school because the Lord revealed it to me 3 times. The first time I was like, no. The second time I was like, no. And the third time I was like, okay, I surrender because I didn't want to do it at first. I knew how much work it was going to be, but the truth is, and that goes for anybody with your goals, anything, the time is going to pass regardless. You might as well do what you feel like you're destined to do or what you truly want to do. So what is hard work? It's hard work being lazy too. Because you're broke. Yeah. You might as well go out here and put the work in and get what you want to get.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely. Think a couple of you go get a job.
I'm trying to stay on the broke path.
Life's a little hard. Yeah, you gotta choose your heart.
It's hard. That's right. I just said that the other day. Choose your heart. Yeah, you go out here and panhandle, sit on the corner, and it's hard trying to get $1, or you go out here and
elements.
Okay. But anyway, yes, that's my one.
Okay. Well, that's awesome, and thank you for sharing with us how you got started, what led you to your place of purpose and passion. And I feel like that's what life is about: is finding what speaks to your soul, what makes you feel alive, where do you feel most at home, and then turning that into what you do every day, so it doesn't feel like a job. So I know that you, and I really appreciate this, that you took it really serious. Getting on here to share with us about your craft and what you do. You did prepare some information for us, so I want to let you have the floor to speak and share with us what you feel is important. I know you said you prepared like 3 things that are important as it pertains to hair, so we'll let you have the floor.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So the first thing I really want to talk about is, first is the disclaimer: nothing shared on this podcast should be How can we get there? And that's key. So as you see, you know how people have those big jugs of water that they keep with them. I tell people dummy proof it. Wherever you frequent the most, if you're standing and you have like your setup, have a cup like your water bottle with maybe the markings on it for your goal, for what time it is or whatever. Sometimes we're always on our phones. Even if you have to set a reminder, put in a reminder every day. Look, did you drink water today? You know, externalize it, because if we don't have that internal check telling us we need to do it, even if you put it as part of your daily task, like if you map out your day, say my goal is to drink, you know, maybe 64 ounces of water by this time, or whatever the case may be, you know. So definitely make it a part of your goals and make it a part of your day in and day out. And dummy proof it. Really, seriously, dummy proof it.
That's good advice. So hydrate.
That's number one. So the second thing,
And remind yourself.
And remind yourself. Okay, so because remember, dehydration is detrimental to healthy hair, and we want you to have a healthy hair, healthy lifestyle. Okay. The second thing that's detrimental to healthy hair, which sounds kind of basic, is just straight up malnutrition. And when I say malnutrition, that's the lack of key nutrients to help you, you know, to carry out the basic necessities of what your body needs. And malnutrition is more rare in the Western, in our society. However, what we have a lot is, we have a lot of calorie dense foods. So people are getting a lot of calories, but we don't have enough nutrient dense foods. Meaning we're lacking essential vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbs, and fats, which people hear the word macros. And they're, ooh, macros, but really those are just the macronutrients, the building blocks that you need, which are the carbs, the proteins, and the fats, which we don't usually have an issue with fat or even protein or carbs. We usually don't have an issue with the macros. It's those micronutrients sometimes, because we're eating these fast foods or these kind of processed foods. And a lot of times we don't have enough of the antioxidants that naturally occur in those fruits and vegetables. We're not getting that, which is why we're seeing a lot more diseases, chronic diseases, obesity, things that are plaguing our society. So malnutrition